what I've always thought needed to happen since I realized what medicine music was is that medicine music needs to come out of the forest, out of the mata, and out of the temples and everywhere. Go everywhere, into the club, wherever. So it's been a natural progression for me, and I thank artists like Porangi, like Mose, to blend these sacred mantras, these sacred medicine songs with top grade production.
Salve tribo! Estamos começando mais um Tribe Zen Podcast. Eu sou o Lucas Aldi.
E eu sou a Solires Longo e sejam todos bem-vindos a mais esse portal para a expansão da consciência.
Hoje temos aqui uma experiência nova, algo completamente diferente. Vai ser nossa primeira entrevista em inglês. Então, quero que as pessoas que também estiverem assistindo, escutando em outro idioma, que esse vai ser um episódio atípico.
Sim, a gente vai falar toda a entrevista em inglês, mas para quem tá chegando aqui através do Franko, então eu vou trazer uma mensagem pro pessoal. If you are arriving here because of Franko, this interview is going to be the whole interview in English. We are very excited to have our first interview in English. We have a movement in Brazil called the Tribe Zen, and we are very, very happy to have this interview.
Yes, and we have Franko here. Very welcome.
Kia ora. Such a pleasure to be here, guys.
Kia ora.
Kia ora.
We start our conversation with a cheers with cacao.
Yes.
Cheers.
Mama cacao.
Mama cacao, thank you. Esse cacau aqui é o cacau da Sativa, pro pessoal que tá nos acompanhando aí também do Brasil. Vamos falar um pouquinho em português aqui para passar os recadinhos.
Yes.
Então, se você quiser conhecer mais sobre os produtos da Sativa, o site tá aí na tela, sativasuperalimentos.com.br, e você apoiando nossos apoiadores, vocês nos apoiam também.
Maravilhoso. E aí temos também que citar nossos parceiros da Mata, Nutrição Regenerativa na Floresta. And we have a gift for you.
This is a gift
Thank
from
you.
Mata.
That's
Yes.
incredible. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And we just learned that mata is forest in Portuguese.
Yes.
Yes, forest. Brazil. And this is from Brazil.
From Brazil.
Yes.
From
Yeah,
Amazon.
From the Amazon.
Yeah.
Incredible. I can't wait to try it. Thank
Yes.
you.
E se você quer se conectar mais com a Mata, esses produtos maravilhosos que a gente sempre fala aqui, que faz parte da nossa vida, mata.bio é o site e tem um cupom Tribe Zen.
E para você que quer se conectar conosco também, aí na tela tem o QR Code com todas as informações para se conectar com a gente, para entrar no nosso grupo do WhatsApp, que tem já quase 600 pessoas, 600 ouvintes nossos ali com trocas profundas. A gente adora ter essa relação perto. E também tem a nossa newsletter toda sexta-feira, que hora?
8 e 8. 8 e 8 tem o nosso e-mail direto pro seu coração. É muito especial. E aí agora a gente vai começar o nosso papo em inglês. Não é nosso idioma fluente. Aqui estamos fazendo o nosso melhor e aceitando esse desafio maravilhoso. Então vamos nessa.
Vamos criar novas sinapses.
Yes.
Speaking English, we are going to create new synapses.
Yeah. It's a
New
great...
facial movements and way we breathe, it's all different. That whatever language we speak, it brings up something different than us.
It's nice.
I really appreciate you speaking in English so I can communicate with you and your audience today. It's a real honor to be here in Brazil with you.
Thank you.
I'm happy to do this challenge with ourselves to bring another octave of consciousness.
It's
That's
nice.
so great.
Yeah.
Who is Franko?
Huh?
Who is Franko? How we
Who
met
am
him?
I?
How we met
Let me
him?
know.
We see Franko for the first time. We see you for the first time in the Moses concert in São Paulo. And it was amazing experience to us.
Yeah, and something that I saw that very connected with me, because it's happening a lot with me, but sometimes I met people and I see the quality of presence, you know, and then I saw you there, and our friends, Nandix is a DJ and he was working there, and he said, you need to know Franko, come here. And then he connected us, and I saw the quality of your presence, like you looking in your eyes.
Yes.
I saw like you really import with people that come to you. Yeah, you really care about that. And I think that's the first connection that made us brought us here today.
That's a beautiful reflection to have. I've got tears in my eyes as you said it. Thank you. Because I think that is one of my main goals in life, is to be present with people, be present with my own life, and make people feel better for having been in relationship with me, even if it's for a hug or a moment. Because I think that's what I want, is other people's presence. I want to be heard. I want to be seen. And I think that's a very fundamental human need.
Yes.
You know, so it's probably the highest compliment. So thank you.
It's nice because we were there, and it was supposed to be just a concert. Like we just going there, working, taking some pictures, and then we saw like it's so strong, this kind of connection that people makes in this kind of festivals, concerts. And I know that you have a huge background about this, about festivals. And I would like to know more about you. Like, what's your history?
Yeah, I always need to go all the way back to when I was just yay high, like 3 years old. And I was always into great music because my parents gave me the gift of great music. I would always be listening to Elton John and Bruce Springsteen and Bon Jovi, and I became a little rock and roller at like that high with these big headphones on, just shouting at the top of my lungs to all these big songs that we know today. And I had parents that didn't tell me to shh. They just kept on saying, go for it, you know, let him sing. So I think I got off to a really good start when it comes to learning how to express myself and know that that's okay to express myself, my soul, you know. So I got hooked on music from a very early age, and I picked up rock and roll music in bands through my school years. In school bands, you know, I'd be playing it at our local school concerts and be jamming at home with my friends on the drums. And I remember a beautiful moment where I had a 90-year-old grandmother who lived next door, and she could always hear us like playing heavy metal music.
Wow.
Yeah.
And even she would come out and say, "Can you turn it up?" And I'm like, "Yes, Granny."
That's so nice.
I'm from heavy metal too.
Yeah.
He used to play guitar in a band too.
10 years.
There's always a little rock and roll in us still, brother. Yeah, I can see the tattoos, you know. And so I got caught up on the dark side of becoming into the rock and roll lifestyle. That was a point, a difficult point in my life that seemed like a very high moment, but it was an unhealthy, unattainable to be consistently high, you know, in that kind of alcohol, club, drug, sex, rock and roll driven environment where the highs are so big, but the lows, you pay for it on the next day, the morning, you know, I had to feel like I was restarting my life again with a hangover, you know, broken every morning because I'd be playing 5 nights a week and getting paid to drink, getting paid to play rock music and party. And all I'd ever seen as a young boy from New Zealand is initiation by drinking, initiation by smoking, initiation by drug abuse. So that was all I knew. And that's all so many of us know in the West. And I was lucky that I had a mother and a father who I observed meditating from a young age. So I got to see my parents sit on a couch with their eyes closed and just breathe and be silent. And at the time, I had no idea what that was, but it seemed peaceful. And I always remembered that. So when I needed it later in life, when I really didn't actually want to be on this planet anymore, I was suicidal and desperate. I went to that memory and I found meditation.
Wow.
And I thought, I've got to drastically change my life from party guy to conscious, you know, and through meditation, I got to meet myself for the first time, like who I really was. Because before that, I was the party starter. I was the, you know, the loud guy in the room, the joker. I got kicked out of every school I ever went to, you know, just loud, you know, and just trying to make up this being that that was looking for happiness in order to want to stay on earth.
Yeah. How old are you?
But it was unsustainable. I'm 42 now.
In this time when you shift.
Yeah, so they call it, is it Saturn return? Around the 27 to 30 year period. It was totally 27 to 30 where I started to shift, and I had a daughter at 27. Wow. So having her on the way made me stand up taller and take responsibility. And I realized there was a choice to be made.
Yes.
I could keep being the party irresponsible guy, or I could bring this beautiful young woman into this world and look after her and give her a good example of a man, of a human.
We used to say that kids, like child, son, daughter, they are like portals in our lives.
Yes.
Yeah.
We don't have yet, but we saw in many friends how it changed then.
Yeah.
Like completely.
That's so powerful. That's so powerful. I often say that children are our gurus. These little free beings are the ones to follow, because they've always got the most fun idea. You know, they're always the most expressive because they haven't learnt how to dim their light. They haven't learnt about judgment yet. They haven't learnt about race or money or all these blocks in our life. They just express. So let's follow the children.
Yeah.
You know, let's follow their sensibility. And as well, if children are happy and healthy, then that's a quick sign that their environment is also happy and healthy as well. So the adults are doing well in that environment. And so from meditation and mantra and yoga practices that I found, I didn't know anyone that did those. So I was by myself, like thinking, how am I going to
the rock and roll guy?
How am I going to keep this up? Because that party looks really good over there and I might go back. So I simply, when Facebook was just getting started, I put a Facebook post 12 years ago saying, okay, I'm into meditation and yoga. I'm just learning. If anyone wants to join me, like every Wednesday night at my house, let's learn together. So the first Wednesday, my whole house was packed full of people, everyone bringing food. Like some people I knew, lots of people I didn't know. And suddenly we were in this beautiful, vulnerable, innocent container of adults that knew nothing apart from we just felt like we needed this. We needed something different. So there is where the community for me started in New Zealand, where I felt support by people and I felt like I could support others. And that little group of people turned into monthly retreats and adventures, and then eventually a few years later turned into big festivals.
Wow.
So I created New Zealand Spirit Festival from that seed. And we'll be running our 18th festival in 3 weeks.
Whoa.
Back in New Zealand. Yeah.
I wish I could go.
Yeah, there's still time. It only takes 1 day to get there.
Let's manifest that.
It's nice because I see like I start in a movement of rock too, like rebel girl, and my mom also she didn't say no, don't go there. She said, okay, go see.
Nice.
And also in our town used to have a movement of rock, and I feel that this movement, it's something that my soul was looking for. How can I say? To have a family, like a group, a tribe, like to be part of.
Part of.
Yeah, but it doesn't work because we start to like destroy ourselves to be part of something. But when you start to shift your consciousness, I think we start to be part of something greater. And that makes the world better, make us better. And I feel like today we are part of something. Like we don't know each other too much, but we know when someone it's part of the same thing, you know?
Yeah, I really agree. Beautifully said. And it's an unseen spiritual energy connection of what I think feels like safety. It's like, oh, this person's safe to be around. Therefore, I can be myself. We can be ourselves. And in safe environments, what often comes next is magic.
Yes.
Actual magic. When humans are not under the influence of drugs and alcohol and just present with each other, then we truly see each other. We truly feel ourselves. And then suddenly the oneness appears of all connection, everything being connected to each other. And I think our backstories, I think the hardship, the difficulties we've had in our lives, I've had in my life, because I've realized that it creates strength when you go through it.
Yeah.
And you come out the other side. Because every difficulty we've ever been through, all of us, we survived, and we're here today to learn from it, to share these stories, and especially be people that can share these stories with our children.
Yes.
And be good examples, and not the person that goes to the bar and drinks away our problems and, you know, resets into the darkness. We're just trying to be authentic here and tell the truth.
Yeah.
I see this kind of perception here in your environment start to shift before we met the plant medicines, the power of the forest, the herbs, the entheogenics, psychedelics. And I want to know if you have that any type of connection with these plant medicines to expand this perception of life in this time or not?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. My, again, biggest realization came with Bufo.
Bufo.
So
I know.
Didn't do it yet.
the toad from Mexico, Bufo alvarius. And before that, the only kind of plant medicines and drugs that I did was done in a more party environment.
Yeah.
And I really believe that anything is a drug depending on how you use it. You know, we can overdose anything at all. Broccoli, you know, we could overdose coffee,
food,
overdose whatever it is, sex, all the things. And so I did try mushrooms and plant medicines when I was younger, and I was fascinated by them, but it was always a mixed, you know, thing with alcohol. So I never really understood the full ceremony aspect to it. So when a friend of mine basically said, I think you're ready for a journey with Bufo, 5-MeO, DMT, like it is all very well to have your friend tell you that and use words, but you could never describe the experience that's about to happen. And they say that Bufo is the God molecule because it is the most potent plant medicine known to man, aside from literally death. And it's what it is. It's a death. It's a huge evaporation for me into the cosmos, into the oneness, into that white light that always is, that if we zero in close enough to us, all that is white light, you know? And so when I had Bufo, it obliterated my ego completely. I was not Franko anymore. I was not Francis, my birth name.
Wow.
I was not a man or anything. I was just everything. And it took me to what I felt is probably what happens with death. And it was so peaceful, so peaceful to feel that there's never been anything to worry about ever. we can make things up. We're great story creators as humans, but actually everything is perfectly rolling out every single breath, every single time, however much it may feel like it's awful or fantastic. It's all stories. It's just rolling out perfectly. So it took away my worry. It took away my fear of death, which is a huge one. I think most people make decisions in their life based on a fear of death, a fear of loss, a fear of something coming to an end.
Judgment.
Even if after awakening, I think a lot of people, I sometimes do this kind of choices because of that, because of the survival mode.
So when we're making choices out of fear, they're always going to be lacking power, lacking authenticity, lacking potential, universal, like godly potential. So what happened when I lost the fear of death 8 years ago was all my dreams started to come true, because I was unapologetically being myself, my essence, my full power. So the woman of my dreams at the time came into my life like a month later. I started the festivals with her 6 months later. My kids were happy and healthy. We ended up buying a house. Like, it was everything that I could dream of.
A big shift.
Because I took the handbrake off my life. And the handbrake is fear. The handbrake is indecision. The handbrake is timidness, So I really, really thank plant medicine, even though it's an animal medicine, for that initial revelation. And that opened my eyes up to, and life up to ayahuasca, up to arape, up to ceremonial magic mushrooms, and also daily magic mushrooms. So I microdose most days with magic mushrooms.
Nice.
Amazing.
It is just such a beautiful medicine to be able to keep me in the perspective of a universal perspective, of a universal framing, where I don't tend to get too in the weeds and the details of the small problems of my life.
Yes.
I can stay back a little bit.
Watch,
take a few breaths, and see the magic in almost every scenario.
That's nice.
And so I'm a big advocate for these things done in the right way.
I see you in the concert, and I feel like you are doing something like a healing process or something like that. So I'm wondering if you have some kind of initiation in this kind of healing stuff.
Yeah. So I am part Māori from New Zealand. So our indigenous people are called Māori, Maori. And we come from Hawaii. So I am part Hawaiian as well. I'm also part Jewish, Irish, Scottish, all the things. But our Māori people, and the Māori part of me, is very ancient and very expressive, very fierce. We are a warrior, a race of warriors, and amazing queens and kings and chiefs. We managed to fight off the English enough to be able to retain our language, our songs, what we call waiata. Our culture in general is pretty well intact compared to many other countries and indigenous tribes.
Beautiful.
So that fierceness runs through me. My middle name is Heke, named after one of our great warriors, Franko Heke, who was the chief in New Zealand that kept on cutting down the English flagpole, because he was like, we're not going to be ruled by you. So that energy runs through me. So when I'm on stage, I open myself up to all the ancestors that are in the space, everybody's ancestors, and I invite them to come through me to speak or to sing or to create what needs to be created in the space, so that we can all drop our stories, so we can drop our fear and fully express
Yeah.
who you are.
We felt that. I feel like the musician, the person that is playing some music there is like a channel. You know, we have a lot of friends that play musics and they receive some music like in one time the whole music comes
Channeling songs.
Yeah, and then
songs.
I feel that's so nice because it heals the person that is playing,
Yes.
and also people that is listening, right?
It's very self-sustainable. You know, it's self-perpetuating. It is helpful for everybody. And what I love about my own transition from what my friend Porangi says, this you know Porangi?
Porangi is Brazilian.
Yeah, exactly. Of course you know Porangi. He's a good brother. He just came to New Zealand. We brought him to New Zealand and he came headline Spirit Festival. Incredible man.
We should bring here in the podcast.
We got to get Porangi here. Okay, Porangi.
Yeah.
So he talks about the lowercase m music, the lowercase music, and then the uppercase music. The lowercase music is the kind of music that's on the radio. It's the music industry version of music. And then there's the uppercase, the larger M music, which is the medicine music, which is, put simply, music of presence. It's music of whatever's happening now, expressed through vibration. And he does it so well. And that's what I'm constantly looking to tap into now, is what is the moment asking for, and what does the moment sound like? You know, is it drumming on my chest, on my legs? Is it making some alien sound? You know, is it a Maori mantra? Is it an Indian mantra, an African mantra? Is it English? I'm not thinking. It's just coming through. It's flowing, and it's very freeing when I get into that flow where it only comes in a safe environment. You know, so we create the ceremony through cacao, through the angels, through these beautiful space holders, and it's not a show, it's not a party, it is a ceremony, and we're all co-creating the ceremony, and we're all the singers, we're all in the band. You know, everyone's invited to sing, everyone's invited to dance and express. And I love that it feels like we're making this turn in the world where we're going away from the God disciple. You know, I'm Bono from U2, and I'm looking down on all of you guys, and you're going to sing the chorus when I tell you to sing the chorus, and then shut up, it's my turn. You know, it's just, we're bringing everything down to one platform now, one level, where I'm not better than you, you're not better than me. There's no more competition. We're just going to sing together, and we're going to heal ourselves and each other and the earth, and it's just natural.
Yeah. It's like a huge meditation, because when you are singing, dancing, loving people, you are not thinking, you are not judging, you are just being, right?
Just being, like remembering our name, human beings.
Yes.
And also humankind.
Humankind. It's nice.
Here in Brazil, we have a music style called música de rezo. It's something like the praying song.
Yeah.
Like a prayer. Do you have some song in this format of this praying?
Yes.
Like mantra or something near that?
Yes. Yeah, we do. And we call it like karakia, which is a prayer, and it can be a song, what we call waiata. And I love to play these.
Yes,
you know, Owe Ior Aroha, which means divine love, a mantra of divine love. Ior is another word for divine or God. Aroha is love.
Wow.
Yeah, divine love. Aroha.
Aroha.
Yeah, it's probably my favorite word in the world.
What is the meaning of Kiora?
Kia ora is hello.
Hello.
It also
Hello.
means yes. And I see you. I see you. Kia ora. And we have a beautiful welcoming acknowledgement called the hongi as well, which is a greeting where we touch our third eye and our nose together, and we take a deep breath, and we bless the third eye, the breath, the heart to heart, and the ancestors, and then we say kia ora at the end of this, and it's beautiful because there's no space between you and I when we do it. Between the two people.
It's very strong when you connect here,
Yes.
right? With people.
Yeah, it's
similar.
so natural.
It's similar to Aho here in Brazil.
Aho.
Similar.
Amazing.
Can you play that song?
Yeah, let's do it.
Nice.
I would love to.
Yes.
How we say thank you in
Kia ora.
Kia ora.
Kia ora.
It's
Kia ora.
Kia ora.
Kia ora.
The all word.
I'm so grateful.
Thank
Oh
you
my
for
God.
receiving.
That's so beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a practice. You know, mantra is a practice, and that's what I'm so grateful for is having music, my all-time love, become not just entertainment, but a tool, a medicine, a medicina, a practice.
Medicina, yes. I feel that because when it's like you are playing, I feel this like the notes traveling.
Yes.
It's like sometimes here in my heart, sometimes it's here, and you just feel the song, right? It's healing.
It's much more than the words. It's the vibrations that the words carry.
Yeah.
You know, and humans, we love to try and figure everything out and try and explain everything, but actually we know nothing.
Yeah.
We know nothing. We're just beings being. And even the words we're saying now, they mean what they feel. They don't mean what our explanation is or what the Oxford Dictionary says.
Yes.
They mean how they feel, and it's the same as mantra. It's the same as song.
It's
singing.
Vibration.
It's
right?
vibration. The explanation is simply how it feels to you.
Yeah.
Recently, I received some lessons from my spiritual guides in a meditation process that teaching me about this anchor of presence, the music, the notes, the sound, the power of the sound. They are teaching me about this anchor to let me get my presence through the appreciation of something. In this case, was the sound. And I was meditating in this, and I found that place, that seat, called presence. And in this moment, I really feel what is this presence? What is being here now? And it was so amazing.
Wow, beautiful. I really, my whole body feels like it understands exactly what you mean. And some people call it God.
Yeah.
Some people call it presence.
Yes.
Some people call it energy. The whole world has spent far too long at war and at disharmony over what we call that very thing. Many lives have been lost over what we call God. Simply, what do we call it? It's not your name or my name. It's just space.
It just
It just is. It just exactly. Exactly.
Nice.
And music takes us there.
Yeah.
You know, that's why churches have been built all over the world. Millions of churches have been built all over the world specifically to create the best harmonics, the best amplification through architecture and humans. A human or a group of humans standing in this particular room with this particular ceiling and walls and concrete or blocks, when they make a sound, that's what takes us to God.
Yes.
Through the music.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
And also I saw an interview about your journey in Vipassana
Yeah.
that you called. And me and Lucas, we love Vipassana. I think it changed our lives. It's like ayahuasca in our lives. It's like a big shift.
Yes.
So I would like you to tell about your story with this kind of meditation.
I relate to that story of yours so much because Vipassana was the changing point. It was the first tool that I learned. So to give perspective, I remember dating this girl who was amazing woman, but we partied, man. Like we really lived did all the things, and she was also a yoga teacher, and I was inspired by her being a yoga teacher, and I was at kind of breaking point with my life, and I booked myself into Vipassana in the middle of this quite colorful relationship, shall we say, and so Vipassana was coming up on the Friday. It was Thursday night, and her and I were partying, like full partying. Bottle of vodka, snorting, whatever white powder it was, and all the things, because I had no idea what I was in for. I'd never meditated before.
Wow.
And so all I knew I was going on retreat. I was going away, and I wasn't allowed to do the whole list of things, no smoking, no looking at people in the eye, no salt, no all the things. And so I was in for a very, very big shift that next day. So I got dropped off at Vipassana and just remember thinking, what the hell have I done? And I got dropped off, so I didn't even have a car to escape. So suddenly I'm sitting there for 10 hours a day trying to be still, not hurt so much, and focus all the things that Vipassana meditation is, which is a lot of presence, scanning, scanning the body. And after sort of 3 days of kind of agony,
Me too.
what happened was miraculous. I felt this overwhelming feeling of freedom and lightness, and I realized that I just met myself for the first time. I just saw myself, because I didn't have all the distractions of my phone, of a book, of girls, whatever it was. It was just me, myself, and Vipassana. Goenka, the guru.
Yes. Be happy.
Try again.
Be happy.
Try again. No, start again. Start again.
And I was free from my stories and my thoughts. And suddenly, with all that space, being a musician, I'm creating symphonies in my head. I'm oh my God, let's go. And then day 5, I'm I want to go, because I want to start my life again out there in the world. And I didn't. I stayed for the whole 10 days, and more revelations came. But that was my abrupt start to a proper spiritual wellness practice, was partying, vodka, cocaine one night, and then the next day, meditation. And so much changed, because my diet was okay back in the day, but I was eating a lot of meat and normal stuff. Because Vipassana is vegan and plant-based, my body felt so good being on that diet for 10 days straight that I've never eaten meat again. So 12 years ago was the last time I had meat. And for me, my body worked so well with just plants again. So
amazing.
I just kept that up. So I was so desperate that I was going to do anything it took to get 1% feeling better, 2% here. It's okay, not eating meat for me is going to make me 10% feel better. That's what I'm going to do. Meditation, it might make me feel 20% better. I'm going to keep doing that. And then my body hurt so much at the end of the 10 days that I had to find yoga.
Yes.
Because my body was just oh God, you need to move,
Yes.
So it was the natural next progression to find a yoga studio, drop into my body, continue the meditation practice. And then I heard this beautiful music called mantra music in the studio, in the yoga studios. And there was a 6-month period where I was scared to play guitar, because I felt like the rock music that I knew was going to take me back to the old ways. So I didn't want to touch my guitar for a while. But then listening to this beautiful healing mantra music in the studios, I was okay, I want to try and learn this and for my own medicine. So I learned mantra music. So it was a beautiful natural progression from desperation to feeling great.
That's nice.
And then to keep it up, I made that call out to people, hey, would you like to come and learn with me? And that held me accountable to keep going, to keep it up.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
We used to say also, Lucas used to play rock and roll, and now we just play mantras. And it's so nice, because it's we allow ourselves to express, because I think music brings us to this quality of expression. To do a podcast before, I used to be so shy to speak in public. And then I felt that was a huge heal for me to speak for people and everything, and work with my communication. And with song, I also did a next level too, like to express yourself through music. It's so nice. It's so nice.
So you've opened up your throat chakra, your throat, your tongue, your ear waves. Yeah. It's so important. It's so healing. And I had a big breakthrough when it came to my voice during this time as well, because I wasn't trying to be John Bon Jovi or Axl Rose. I was just finding my voice, and I've got quite a deep voice, as you can probably hear. And I couldn't sing a lot of stuff on the radio because it was so high. So I actually spent a lot of my life feeling quite down about not being able to sing along to my favorite artists, which in my head meant that I wasn't as good as them. But mantra music allowed me to drop into my own vibration and take ownership over my sound, and then I found kirtan, kirtan, which is the form of call and response. So the kirtan wala, the leader, sings a mantra and the whole crowd sings the mantra back. And it's just this ebb and flow of energy exchange. And then sometimes we sing all together, and that just opened my heart, that dropped my ego even further to a place of oneness. Again, it's like, I can do some things by myself, but to really elevate, for us all to sing and be together in presence, we elevate together.
Yes.
It's interesting because when we are in this kind of music, I feel that don't matter who was playing. Don't matter who was playing the guitar or singing. It's just the feeling of the whole, the song, the music. And I'm curious about your partnership, your gigs with Mose, with Porangui or Sangarit. How is your contact with this great singer, players, compositions?
Yeah. So for the last 10 years, I've been building my community back in New Zealand. We've run a lot of festivals. We have bought our own land, and so I've got 2 daughters as well. So I've been very New Zealand bound for about 10 years, and my own personal music I had actually put on the back burner, down the priority list, maybe 3 or 4 priority lists down. And about 4 years ago, I reached out to Mose to see if he wanted to come to New Zealand to play at our festival. And it was all during the COVID times, and we couldn't get him to come down because just all that stuff. And then, but we decided to create music together before even meeting in person.
Wow.
So 4 years ago, we started with a song called Jai Shiva Shankar that we created with Monica Dogra, an amazing singer and actress from India. And before meeting, we created that song, and we loved working together, and we created a few more. A few years later, he invited me to play with him at Burning Man festival. So it was at Burning Man that we met for the first time. Like, I literally met him, gave him a hug, and then grabbed the microphone, and then we were playing music together. And Mose and I's relationship is, it makes me a little emotional because like he's such a beautiful anchor point in my life. He feels completely different to me, like the most polar opposite that you could get of a man. But together we create this really whole, beautiful yin and yang feeling. Like he's very calm. He's very meditative. He gathers his thoughts. He doesn't speak BS. Like he's very, and I'm quite fiery, and like let's go, and together it just creates for me like this magical relationship. Musically, but also brotherhood. Like we're such good brothers, and so because of Mose, he brought me on tour a year ago. It was supposed to be for 6 weeks, and it's been a year now. Wow. And we've traveled 3 months in Europe, 2 months in the States. We're in Brazil right now. Like, we're planning to go to Bali, New Zealand, Australia at the end of the year.
Whoa.
I went to his house 3 weeks ago, just before coming to Brazil. We were like, oh, let's record some new music. Ended up recording a whole album, you know, 8 songs in 10 days. And yeah, and we just have such a beautiful brotherhood where we're, you know, on stage and off stage, it's just as potent. And it's getting to a place now where we hardly need to speak to each other. We know all we both need to do is just come into presence, and God will take care of the rest.
Yeah. I felt you used to listen most like since the beginning of our awakening. And our song is Naturaleza.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's our song.
Of course.
I felt so emotional when he was playing there. Oh, that's so beautiful.
That was full power.
Yeah. And
Wow.
when I saw you both in the stage, it was so nice because I felt that it was always like that. You know, I always listen most, and you were like a presence there that I met before, you know? And I felt this alchemy that you both together. It's very, very nice. Very nice.
I'm glad you feel that. I know we both feel it, and it couldn't have happened. It can't happen without Bruna. Bruna is like the absolute tip of the triangle. You know, she's Brazilian.
Yes.
She's expressive. She's intelligent. She's motherly. She's sisterly. And those two as a sacred union is such an inspiration for me. I was just speaking off camera to you guys before about I haven't been in a relationship for about 4 years, but I feel like I'm ready again after being in a relationship with myself for a while, knowing who I am, knowing what I can offer, who I am to offer someone else. But they're a huge inspiration for me of what's possible.
Yes,
to
it's
be
very nice.
in a holy union like yourselves and work together, play together, have time apart, be from different cultures, you know, and create this beautiful, you know, inspiring connection for yourselves and others.
Yeah.
You know.
Before we change the subject to talk about this community project, I would like to ask you one more thing about music, about this mix of shamanic style, shamanic elements in the electronic music. That's so great, so new to me. And what do you think about this mix of elements of sacred music with electronic music? What do you think about this?
Thanks for bringing that up. The first word that comes to my mind is fun. You know, what electronic music has done so well over the last 40 years or so, since synthesizers and, like, you know, digital age has happened. The production quality, like the quality of the vibration, has been just so amazing, and pop artists have been using it to connect to millions and billions for so long. What I've always thought needed to happen since I realized what medicine music was is that medicine music needs to come out of the forest, out of the mata, and out of the temples, and everywhere. Go everywhere, into the club, into the car, into, you know, wherever. So it's been a natural progression for me, and, you know, I thank artists like Porangi, like Mose, and many more. Lincoln Jesser is another one who's creating healing house music to blend these sacred mantras, these sacred medicine songs with top grade production. So that we can be relatable, so the medicine can be administered, can be offered to a wider audience, because we don't need to party with unconsciousness anymore. We can turn party into celebration, can turn party into ceremony, and we can dance together and not have a hangover the next day, and build energy and share ideas and action those ideas, because, you know, we're healthy.
Yes.
You know, so I love where this music is going. You know, I love how I used to be like a techno DJ in my 20s, you know, like in London, like spinning vinyl, like techno music. And so I love that consistent beat, that reliable beat that you can rely on and dance to. And yeah, the way Mos, I call him like a musical shaman.
Yes, like a maestro.
He is. He's a conductor.
Yeah.
You know, and he's one of the best
I feel that.
It's amazing to bring some Lakota drums with flutes in this music, digital and organic.
Porangi do this very well too.
Porangi, yeah, exactly.
When he came to Brazil, we saw a concert and he brought, in Brazil we call pandero.
Oh my God.
Samba. It's so nice.
What he does with that one little drum. Yeah. Like what he does with nothing. Like just with his beatboxing and his sound vibration. It's incredible. And I recommend to go to a Porangi song circle as well.
It's a ceremony, right?
Yeah.
I feel that.
And he empowers all these amazing musicians. They empower I don't like to say the audience. It's everyone else. They empower whoever's there to contribute.
Yes, to make your rhythm.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Send the energy back and forth. Like I'm listening to you. I might be the person that's on this poster, but I'm listening and feeding off your energy, and I'm going to give it back to you. And like, where can we go? You know, so I know my role with Mos is to, and it's a natural role, is to connect the crowd even deeper into the vibration that are his beats and his melodies.
Right. Let's talk about the
community. Yeah, because I think the community and also the festival is something that is very connected in your life, because I saw some stories about how you build your community. Like it starts in a festival, right?
Yeah, I mean, before, like I said, it started on a Facebook post as well. Like my house was full with people, and then it built over time into festivals that we were running 3 festivals a year times 3,000 people. Wow. You know, 4 or 5 days of camping. So people come to these events because they want to be more healthy, want to be more connected to nature, to themselves. They want a safe environment for their kids to play. We have hundreds of kids at these festivals, and I often say that I don't really want to be in a space where kids aren't allowed, because why aren't kids allowed in spaces?
Yes.
What are we hiding?
I agree.
You know, let's make every space safe for kids and be better.
Yeah.
So it was 4 years ago that I stood on the main stage at our New Year's Eve festival called Resolution, and I said to the audience, the people, everyone there, the family, how good does this feel? And everyone was like, yeah, it feels amazing. And then I was like, why are we leaving? Why are we stopping this? Like, why don't we live this way? I think it's time that we come together, we buy a farm, we trust each other, we be consistent, we put seeds in the ground, plant our food, plant our forests, and look after each other. And so that's literally how it started. And people came up to me immediately and was like, well, I've got some money to put into that, and I've got some money, and let's come together. And it was only like 6 months later where I found the farm, got the mortgage, got enough of a deposit through different people to pay the deposit, and we had a mortgage and we bought the farm.
Wow.
And it has been a journey. And it's been a journey of highs and lows and all of it. But it's one that needs to be had. And you can see why people don't take this journey, because it involves humans.
Yes.
It involves trusting humans. And in order to trust humans and humans to trust you, you've got to reveal yourself more and more every day. And some people are ready for that. Some people are not ready for that. And times have been very challenging over the last couple of years because we had crazy floods in New Zealand where we had big waters come through. We lost money in our festivals because of that flood. Then the recession hit. And then what happens to humans when when we get under financial strain, we get fearful and we start blaming each other, tend to blame each other. And some people do that, and some people do their practice and take responsibility for their own decisions, whatever, big or small decisions. So at the moment, New Zealand's going through, in general, a real dark night of the soul. We're really going through a depression. People are finding it hard to put food on their table. People are finding it hard to get by and to be mentally just above water. So it's a challenging time in the community at the moment. And being a leader, a way shower, whatever you call it, the person that started a whole lot of this, on one side you get loved and praised, applauded, and then you also get the shadow, which is like the blame, the hate, all the things that come with it. And so recently it's been a huge initiation for me to observe it all and survive, just to survive humans, especially social media, like, and the judgment that comes from people that have never met you before, that have a thing to say because they heard from someone that you did this and you are that and da. Now it's true, and the algorithm loves it, and the algorithm lights up, and you know, and Mark Zuckerberg's going, yeah, keep going, you know, like
fight,
fight, finish him. And it's been perfect because over the difficulty of the last 2 years, and since the financial difficulties, I've grown so much. You know, I know how to front foot things. I know how to look at people in the eye, open my heart up, and explain myself, and hear other people. And it's not easy. It's not easy because the relentlessness from judgment doesn't stop, and you can't expect that to stop. You can't expect life to get easier. It's all about how we respond to it. You know, what do we make it mean when someone calls me a bad person or a good person? It's all the same. It's all the same kind of energy. Like, we can't believe people that hype us up either and give us a lot of applause, because then we start relying on that as like endorphins and serotonin. I want more good words. I want to be loved, you know.
Yeah, the ego.
Yeah. So it's been a huge initiation. So I love New Zealand, and New Zealand is my original home. But I'm also expanding around the world with the vehicle of my music.
That's nice.
And I'm loving it. I'm loving it.
We have this dream about building a community. We have a lot of friends in Brazil that had the same dream. It's like, okay, let's put all our things together and mix our talents and learn how to take care of Earth, you know, and also have this space for our kids. And I think that the world is pushing us to have this more and more, because we don't know how to relate.
No. We
don't know. And I think everything in Earth is about relationship.
Yeah.
First, relationship with us, relationship with others, relationship with the Mother Earth. So I think the only way that we need to learn and evolve is about relationship. It's true relationship, right?
Yeah, and respecting and celebrating difference.
Yes.
And getting to a place of trusting yourself, trusting each other. It's funny, like I was thinking actually in Sao Paulo the other day when I was driving through the city, and I was seeing these huge walls everywhere and gates and blocks, and just thinking like, how much people don't trust each other. And of course, a lot of us give lots of reasons for people not to trust us as well. So how can we turn this around to a place where we can not have gates anymore, not have fences and walls, spiritually and physically, firstly, we would have far less building costs, labor, because there'd be so many less things to build. Like we don't have to build walls anymore, and less energy because there is safety and the true ability to trust another human, and then get there en masse because we just really have to. Humans are really good people underneath the fear. Every one of us, every single one of us is a good, beautiful being. If we ever act or react out of, if we ever react in a negative or harmful way, we don't mean to. We don't mean to. It comes from something that we've seen before. It isn't our inherent nature to be awful or to be hatred in hatred or to be at war. So I think a lot of the work needs to come down to finding that inner child, that innocence, again. And it's little by little. And that's why these festivals are so powerful and these workshops are so powerful, because we get to do that in a container of safety. And where I'd love to see these events, wellness events, go is into the mainstream, where we don't need to party anymore. We still celebrate life forever.
Yeah. That's the word.
But we leave a beautiful trace. We don't leave bottles and glass and cigarette butts and from Mother
That's
Earth.
Amazing, because we saw in the Mose concert with you, and in the end it was everything clean. People were happy.
Yeah.
We came home and I was feeling like I would like to stay there, but we needed to sleep because we had a job in the day left after. And but we felt that we need to stay there with these people because the environment is so powerful. So powerful when we create that.
This is a new reality.
Yeah.
And
in the middle of São Paulo, right?
Yeah.
In the middle of São Paulo.
This little seed.
It was
it's like
so
that,
powerful.
That beautiful crack in the pavement where they see that little bit of green seed come through. It's like that's what these events are, is that little bright light of hope, that little seedling coming through the concrete, saying, hey, everything's going to be all right. Nature is still here. We are nature. Have hope and plant another seed. You can do it. And we're all so powerful.
And what do you felt about Brazil?
I love Brazil so much. Oh my God. Like, you guys are, what I love about Brazil is the wildness to the spirit of people here. The indigenous, ancient, ceremonial part of you guys is on the surface. Like, it's ready to sing. You guys are ready to sing. You're ready to dance. You're ready to celebrate. You're ready to be truthful and real. And where I come from has been very sort of English influence, where we don't really speak clearly to each other. We shame each other. We dim each other's lights, and so to come to Brazil, I love to be wild. I love to be myself and just express. I feel like there's full permission to do that here. And it really feels like a lot of the world was domesticated compared to Brazil. And I just think it's a great place to come rewild and undomesticate myself and remember my animal, remember my enoughness, my wild side. Yeah. So I love it so much. And the nature here is second to none. It's like Florianopolis.
Florianopolis is so great.
Beautiful.
The mountains and land from there. I've only just scratched the surface, but I think Brazil is a home for me. It is a recharge station for me in the world. I'd love to come back many, many times.
That's nice. I used to live in USA too, and when I was coming back to Brazil, I used to say, I'm going to connect with my roots. And I didn't had my wake up in that time. So it was what happened, like connecting with your roots, with this place that is full of nature and the medicines and everything.
We are so blessed because here in Brazil, we have this connection, easy easy connection with the plant medicines, with the indigenous masters, people, coming to the cities to teach us.
Yeah.
They are coming.
They
to
came
São
in the
Paulo.
podcast. You know, it came some abuelos from Peru to speak like abuelos.
Yeah.
It's a new thing.
They are ready to spread the message.
Exactly. Like I was saying, they're ready to come out of the forest, out of the temples, and into the masses now, because the masses need it more than ever. And it doesn't take long to change your world once you meditate, or whatever your tool is, whatever your medicine is that works for you. It can change in just such an instant your perspective of life. And then what changes is how you treat people, how you treat the earth, how you treat yourself. It happens so fast. So the tipping point won't be as far away as we think, because at the end of the day, we all want to be here longer. We all want clean water. We all want clean air, and to love and be loved.
Yes.
We are receiving the same message all around the world.
Yes.
Isn't it?
Yeah. And you guys are so lucky to be in Brazil and to have these masters so close, and nature of this mega size so close. You know, what is Brazil needing at the moment? Like, I think at the start of the podcast you were speaking about the culture here a little bit. And do you think there's a sense of that there's such vast nature here that people have taken it for granted? And so we hear about the Amazon getting burnt down and cut down, and it's like, is it just so much nature, so much of that the culture here has not really respected it?
Yeah,
as
I
much
think
anymore?
so. I think it's about the process of colonization in Brazil. Since the beginning, people came here taking an advantage of the land, of the people. So I think it's like something like registered in the karma. I don't know. So it's like people that lives here don't know what's happening. You know, don't interest about these things. So it's like hiding from us in the TV, everything. If you watch, they don't talk about
Distraction.
that. Yeah, it's distraction all the time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But we really important about that. Like we think it's very important for us, like as a channel on YouTube, Spotify, to bring more message about that. Like start in your house. Yeah. You want to save Amazon, so we start in your house. Start planting, taking care of the plants in your backyard. Start relating with your garbage, because it's not garbage, right?
Yes.
We are planting seeds, every one of us.
Yeah.
Planting the seeds with music, with podcasts, with art, with
knowledge, hands on the ground.
Yes.
Just a smile. One smile can change the world.
We are doing 4 years of the podcast this year, and we are having a little festival. We want to do a festival in the future too. Yeah. And it's so nice because everyone is coming together and everyone wants to serve. How can I say, like work, like dharma, like
serve. Yeah.
Serve. Yeah.
Be at service.
And it's so nice because we didn't think about the huge movement that we are making. But when you put yourself in the middle and say, let's do together, people come, right?
Yeah.
Resonates.
Resonates. It's magnetic.
Yeah.
You know, healthy is a very magnetic energy pull.
That's something that I want to ask to you too, because I feel that in your journey, you manifest a lot of things like, you used to listen to Mose and you want to bring him to your festival, and now you are in the stage with him. Like how you can manifest so fast the things in your life?
it's vibration. I really believe that our thoughts that come in from wherever they come are guides. And if we want to action a thought into a reality, then we speak it. And then once we speak it, that vibration comes out of the body, out of the heart, out of source, into the field. And that's like fertilizer for an idea, especially if someone else hears it that can help you. Because there it is. And now the universe knows, now your friend knows, now a stranger knows. And if they're influenced or magnetized to the same thing, they're going to help you. So I speak into reality all the time. And I completely believe myself because it's not myself, it's something else. I'm just narrating what's about to happen. You know, so I manifest through speaking it into reality or singing it into reality. And that with a bit of belief is like fertilizer, you know.
That's
nice. Nice. And I want to hear another song before we finish this. Yeah?
Okay.
So what song will be more precise to this moment? What do you think? What do you feel about one song special
In your heart.
for this podcast today?
Yeah, beautiful. Let's see what comes out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'd love to honor our connection with Mose all together and play the first song that him and I created together with Monica, Jai Shiva Shankar.
Nice.
Jai Shiva Shankar, Jai Shiva Shankar, Jai Shiva Shankar Hari Om. Jai Shiva Shankar Parameshwara, Jai Shiva Shankar Hari Om. Jai Shiva Shankar, Jai Shiva Shankar, Jai Shiva Shankar Hari Om. Jai Shiva Shankar Parameshwara, Jai Shiva Shankar Hari Om. Om Namah Shivaya, 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 Om Namah Shivaya. Jai Shiva Shankar, Jai Shiva Shankar, Jai Shiva Shankar Hari Om. Jai Shiva Shankar Parameshwara, Jai Shiva Shankar Hari Om. Jai Shiva Shankar, Jai Shiva Shankar, Jai Shiva Shankar Hari Om, Hari Om. Jai Shiva Shankar Parameshwara, Jai Shiva Shankar Hari Om. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Om Namah Shivaya. 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 We can inhale together in a sacred Om.
Wow.
Jai Shiva.
Jai Shiva.
Wonderful. Amazing. Thank you. Wow.
We have our friend in Brazil, she's used to say, extraordinário.
Ordinário.
Extraordinário.
Extraordinário.
That's it.
It's like very, very, very good.
Oh, I love that. Thank you.
Wow.
Yeah, that's so nice.
So nice.
I feel the energy. Like in the beginning, we are a little bit of like, we can do that. Let's go.
Yeah,
we did it.
So well to speak your second language. The second language? Third language, right?
Second language.
Incredible. And
It's not a second language because in Brazil, we only speak Portuguese. It's like if you want to speak English, you need to learn by yourself.
Yeah. Well, thank you for having me on your first ever English speaking podcast. Thank you to your audience, and I can see why you've gathered such a beautiful following. You're two beautiful souls, and I'd love to be back one day.
Yes. Let's do this in the Tribe Zen Festival.
Yeah, let's go.
Yes, thank you guys, thank you everyone.
Thank you.
Gratidão, gente.
Gratidão.
Muito feliz.
Até a próxima.
Beijo.
Kia ora.
Kia ora.